Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to August 7th house activity. A lot of 7th house activity for you guys. So let's see what comes out. Hold on. Not quite ready yet. Oh, and then the Aquarius card. How lovely to start with, right? I mean, this is a card of dreams and healing and optimism. There's a quality of learning that comes through with the star card as well. You may be feeling like there's this weird quality of destiny with certain things. Even though we know you have the Saturn-Pluto thing in your 12th house, which can be really harsh, sometimes there are things that happen that just kind of weirdly fall into place, weirdly make sense, where things just sort of evolve at such a beautiful, organic kind of way. And even if you have no idea where this is going or no idea how this is going to pan out, there is likely some kind of like feeling compelled to go in a certain direction, right? And you might have absolutely no idea why. There's a beautiful, mysterious aspect with the star card as well. I mean, even more so than the moon card, right? Because starlight is so dim, right? So when you kind of venture off into the starlight, there's the sparkle aspect, but it's like the sparkle of the mystery, the sparkle of where this could possibly go. And I suspect you're being very drawn to possibilities right now. You're being very drawn to what could be. While you're not locking yourself into anything, there's always this quality of liberation and freedom. It is your card after all, right? There's this quality of being detached enough. It's like going with the flow and going along with it, but still being detached in a way that it just leaves everything open. Right? It leaves everything open. This can be kind of an annoying energy for people dealing with an Aquarius. Just saying, okay? It can be kind of annoying energy because it's like they want to be able to grab you, to kind of like to know that you're there, to know that you're 100% in. But honestly, Aquarius, and sorry for those of you who are cross-watching, but honestly, it's better that you don't, right? To stay elevated, to stay fluid in a way that kind of only Aquarius can, okay? This is the beautiful thing that we both love and hate about Aquarius, okay? But it's really quite good for you guys. Yeah, so that's a great way to start the energy, or to start the reading, I mean. Okay, let's see what comes up. See, because you know best, right? You know what you got to do. There's a soul aspect with the Hierophant, where it's kind of like, I always say it's the inner Buddha or the inner guru, that part of you that knows, right? You know that the starlight and the mystery and the unknown is the best place for you right now, okay? There's a quality of Taurus as well. Some of you may be dealing with a Taurus. And some of you might be a little disoriented by this starlight, okay? And might seek guidance from someone. So if you have a mentor or a coach, a spiritual person, a pastor, rabbi, like whatever, you may want to have a conversation with them. Just talk to them, just see what they have to say, get their advice, and, take it for what it is. You don't have to just adopt it, but take it for what it is. Listen to what they have to say. I always say that this is someone who is very neutral, right? They're not invested in your outcome. They're not invested in your future. So they're going to be super honest with you. So you can trust it. You can trust that at least it's coming from a place with no motive. All right. So while maybe you're not making concrete decisions about things, you're kind of in this explorative place, you can still seek guidance along the way, because there might be some insights that come through, right? There might be some insights that come through, and some insights that might direct you one way or the other that will be good for you. There's an aspect of divine timing for you guys too. Things are weirdly divinely timed. That phone call from that person, that email that just randomly comes through, that number 1111 that you just happen to keep seeing, right? There's something otherworldly going on. All right, are you feeling like you're at a crossroads with something? It's not true. The Two of Swords is very illusionary. It can be very strange, okay? Especially when it's reversed. Because when you're not listening to your core being, when you're not really listening to your intuition and you get all in your head and you start running down the lists of like what to do and what not to do, why this can work and why this won't work, that's when you kind of get lost in your own duality, and it's really, 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 really hard to like have progress during those times. I think a Mercury retrograde probably had a lot to do with that. So now that it's going to start going direct, we got the supermoon tonight. That's going to kind of kick everything off for August. So, hopefully that will all sort out rather quickly. But if you find yourself going back and forth in this constant, comparing the lists, just stop, right? Just put the pen down, give your mind a break, do a meditation, go talk to someone that you respect, even do a little adventure. Like, why not? Like, actually go out into starlight, go for it. Look at the stars, connect with your place in the whole cosmos thing, and realize that nothing really is probably that big a deal. Right? No matter what problem you have, it's probably not really that big of a deal in the grand scheme of everything, in the big spectrum of really why you're here. Like, don't forget that one of the most important meanings of life is just simply life itself, right? To be alive. So, you don't have to overcomplicate anything. Sometimes this card can way overcomplicate. This is a Libra energy, actually. So when you take a Libra energy and dump it on its head, it can be like the back and forth and indecisive kind of thing. So again, if you're dealing with an Aquarius and they're kind of lost here, just, give them space, because they're going to need the space to like come to grips with what their intuition is really saying. Okay. I know that the Aquarians out there, you are going to be doing the right thing. So if there's a decision you're looking down the barrel of, right, and there's someone else involved, you are going to be making the right decision. So don't second guess yourself too much. You know what's right. You know what you need to do. Wow, a lot of major arcana for you guys. Chariot. Divinity, lots of divinity coming through. Higher self for sure is in the driver's seat. Your soul for sure is in the driver's seat. You have a lot of guidance. That's why, like, pay attention to the little synchronicities. You might be seeing a lot of those lately. Pay attention to the synchronicities. Pay attention to when something kind of pops up in your mind. You don't have to do anything about it. Just kind of pay attention, right? Pay attention to what you're thinking at that time, to what you're doing at that time, and just give a note of gratitude for your guides, right? Thank you, guides. Thank you, helpers, angels, for just like looking out. Like, I see you, I feel you, I know you're here, and I know you're taking me in the right path. Some of you guys might have some big stuff going on. The fact that we've got 4 cards out and 75% of them are major arcana tells me that there's maybe something really, really big going on in your life. And okay, so you have something big. That's great. This is a celebratory energy. I even love the stars in the canopy here with the star card right on top of it. So this is about your place in the cosmos. This is about your place in humanity. That's what you guys are. You're all about humanity, right? Humanitarians of the zodiac. So what is your place? And what is the place of your problems? What is the place of the issue? Like, why are you here on YouTube watching tarot card readings? Like, how important is that really to your existence? Okay, yeah, we're going to take it high level because that's the kind of reader that I am. Yes, so we're getting cards of Aquarius, we're getting cards of Cancer and Taurus. Okay, just putting that out there. But when you allow your higher self to guide, when you allow the Chariot to pick you up and to take you where it needs to go, when you have faith in that process, and you just kind of are like, yeah, okay, let's go. You get to your destination real fast, and you get to this new chapter real fast, and your life can really change really fast. And I have a feeling some of you aren't ready. Like it's maybe changing so fast that you're like, wait a second, I'm a fixed sign, I'm fixed air, I'm not ready for this kind of change maybe. I love the kind of adventuring and hanging out in the starlight and the mystery and discovery aspect of this, but this isn't just for fun. Like this is to kind of like go into a new way, go into a new direction, a new thought pattern, a new way of being and behaving and treating people and all, and being compassionate and all of that. So you are being asked in a kind of a loud way, you are being asked to have faith and to give up your control. Oh my God, you guys, 12th house, Saturn and Pluto, like, and then you're kind of next on the docket for Pluto and Saturn going through your sign. Well, Saturn likes to be in Aquarius, so that's fine. But, Pluto going through your sign in the next several years, that's going to be a whole big thing. So you're going through all this preparatory work. This is all preparation. So you can sit here all you want and be stressed and, not be able to sleep and feel really bad or insecure or guilty or ashamed or like whatever the Nine of Swords is. Because it can manifest a myriad of different, emotions. Usually it's rooted in some kind of fear, okay? But fear of what? Fear of what? What are you really afraid of? I'm telling you that by staying where you are, by staying stagnant, by staying in your patterns, you're going to miss an amazing ride. Because some of you, some Aquarians, you are going to turn your back on that chariot. Like that chariot is going to pull up to your door and you're going to shut the door in its face. And it's going to be like, all right, fine. Then, I'll see you in the next 10 years or something, like whenever you're ready. Like, because the chariot doesn't care. It's neutral. Your higher self doesn't really care. It's also neutral. It knows that your sort of, ego or lower self, or however people want to refer to it, your smaller self, that also has a part of it. It's a part of the experience too. So if it's not ready, it's not ready, and that's fine. Like no one cares. But I think in your core, you care. Because you want to take your life to this new plateau. Because this is really high. All of these are really high. What you're capable of doing, how you're able to help people, teach people, guide people, love people, right? Create people, for some of you even with the children aspect of Leo, right? Children is a thing. Cancer season and Leo season, big time family stuff. For you, relationship stuff too. So it's like this whole thing. So some of you, like, there's a tension on that. There's a tension on something bigger than yourself. And if you're dealing with an Aquarian who is very egotistical, they're going to be Nine of Swordsing, and that's it. And there's nothing you can do when anyone, not just an Aquarius, but when anybody is in their Nine of Swords and they're like so attached to it and they're afraid to let it go because that's all they've known. You have to just let them be there. Right? You have to just let them be there, because the only person that can break themselves out is themselves, because the only one giving them themselves the Nine of Swords is them. So, this is what I see. Aquarius, here you are, right? You have this chariot showing up on your door, and you take a brief pause to feel scared. Maybe you allow yourself to feel scared, and yet you hop on the chariot anyway. Because as much as you run down the lists, the pros and cons and all of that, as much as you do that, it doesn't stop the fact that you already know what you need to do. Some of you, this is leaving a relationship. Some of you, this is starting a relationship or committing to something. Some of you, this is starting a business. This is moving. This is starting fresh. This is giving everything away and starting from scratch. Like, I don't care what it is, but you know what you need to do. You know who you need to talk to. You know who you need to call. Right? Like, And people that choose to stay here in spite of the Queen of Swords and the Hierophant, that can manifest in illness, right? That's a real tough blocked energy. When energy is so built up that it results in so much mental activity and it's just like nonstop, that can actually then transfer down into the heart chakra. And then it's like so hard for that person to like really connect or really feel passionate about life, you know? So you have to take care of the Nine of Swords when you recognize your mind going like this, because you have to release that energy before it kind of gets down here. And when it gets down here, that's when it really starts to permeate and it begins to affect your body in a physical way. This is also like physical health, big time. For any Aquarians who are dealing with physical health problems because you've got Neptune going on in the second house, right? Okay, your physical health is dependent on the release of this, your mental and emotional states. All right, so this is you making a decision, a big decision to go for it full on and never look back, whatever that means. Okay? To go for it full on and to never look back. To dive in, deep end, head first. So there's a lot of communication now that Mercury is going back direct, and it's going to be hitting Leo soon, okay, finishing up its transit in Cancer, allows us to communicate our emotions, allows us to make sense of how we feel about something, so we don't get so lost in like, I don't know what to feel, you know. And then you can effectively communicate that and actually be productive and make a plan for what you want to do. Because obviously this decision is not just something that's just for you. It obviously affects other people. Some of you, it's going to affect people in a good way. Others of you, it's going to affect people in a bad way. But either way, you have to talk through it. You have to communicate, and you have to do so in a way that is compassionate. Queen of Swords. She's clear, she's honest, she's diplomatic, but she's still going to say the truth, as harsh as the truth may be. Okay, so you say it, you do it, you go for it, and you make it work, right? Three of Coins I often see as like a puzzle being put together. You figure it out. You figure out which pieces go where, who does what, how this happens, okay? And boom, here you go. See, the only really difficult card is the Nine of Swords in the center. So some people are going to get trapped in that whole like little cyclone there. Okay, you know, that's going to be far and few between for the people watching my channel, but those of you who are cross-watching for an Aquarius, they're likely getting sucked down into that Nine of Swords drain, okay? In spite of all the really amazing things that are happening. There's money things, love things, passion things, sex things, especially with Mars and Leo, which is a really sexual placement, you know, feeling that sex drive, wanting to connect with someone in a really deep way. And just like wanting to transform, wanting to change, wanting to, like I said, to plateau, to reach that plateau, to reach that next level. And the Ace of Wands is here to carry you there. Something's going to open up, some idea. That was big for Capricorn too, so makes sense. This is likely the conversation that you probably don't want to have. It's likely the conversation that you may be avoiding, or you may be like, you know, afraid of how it's going to affect the other person. I'm not seeing the energy of the other person coming through here, not yet anyway. So don't worry so much, because even if the truth really, really hurts them, it's still the truth, you know? And even if you don't agree, like not saying all of you are like breaking up with someone, but if it's something that they really don't agree with, there will come a solution, okay? Three of Coins is a promise of that. The Chariot is a promise of that. So this is okay. The disagreement, the kind of breakdown in communication, whatever, temporarily, it's okay. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I have a new little setup, so we'll put the camera down for you guys and we'll continue to pull the rest of the cards and get ready for the comprehensive. All right, thanks. Okay, Aquarius, so let's pull out the extra 2 cards from a different tarot deck, see what other messages are here. Ooh, the Hermit. That's what I mean, like, I think the detachment of the star can be really hard on other people, you know? Like, oh, and the star again. Wow, okay, so this reading is all about the starlight. Very dark cards, right? In terms of like being in nighttime, needing a guiding light, which is here. Like, I'm almost seeing a connection here with the third eye chakra coming through there. Connection with that pineal gland, and also the intuition from like the gut aspect of everything. So it's actually a consolidation of the most intelligent of your intelligent agencies, right? Rather than your mind or even your emotion, is like the pineal and the gut, which I often feel is more quick response, right? You know immediately in your gut when something's right or something's wrong, and we always have to kind of like convince our mind of something, or our mind is always trying to convince us otherwise, you know? So be careful not to use your mind too much. And I know you're an air sign and you're highly intellectual and all that, but right now this is about the truth instinct, okay? The Hermit is deep processing mode. Like, I know that you have dreams, you have goals, you have ambitions. One thing I love about this star card is how she's like looking up toward the stars, looking up to see, because, you know, what are the stars? They are our guides, they are our compass, really. So when we look up, we find our directions. And so it's almost as though everything else gets put on the back burner and you are highly prioritizing yourself, prioritizing your life, your destiny, so to speak. But there's also this quiet time. There's an introspective quality always with the Hermit, right? And it is like alone. So if there are people that you really love, Aquarius, okay, please do not abandon them. Communicate with them, because there's potential for you to lose them, because they actually might not understand, really, because you're probably not telling them. Right? You're probably not telling them. That was one of the first things I said. This is kind of one of the both bittersweet aspects of the Aquarian archetype, is like, okay, yes, you guys are really adventurous and all that, but you do leave people feeling forgotten sometimes. It's really common. See it all the time. So if there's someone you don't want to feel like you don't want them to feel like they've been forgotten, then don't forget them. Don't get so lost into your hermit mode and looking up into your destiny and all of that, that you forget to like touch ground, come back to earth, communicate, let people know what's going on. Okay. Now this is from my Untethered Soul deck. Oh, would you like to go beyond yourself? Would you like to feel no edges? Now, this is the epitome of freedom, the epitome of liberation, okay, which is essentially what the Untethered Soul book is really all about. And for an Aquarius, that book and Aquarius is so like interconnected, or the theme of Aquarius, because that's really the time, or the part of the zodiac where everything just kind of busts wide open, where Capricorn is so completely restricted and under lockdown. Aquarius then, boom, punches through all those barriers. So you're confronting barriers here. You're confronting fears. You are walking on the edge and you are being asked to jump. Right? That is what your higher self, your soul, is really saying. Jump into the abyss, jump into the darkness. Do you have faith? This Nine of Swords is a result of not having faith in the higher intelligence. This is someone who like kind of jumps or like loses their footing and then grabs onto the rocks because they are so afraid to fall. But the falling is actually going to make you fly. Okay, so not to be all cheesy about it, But the question, would you like to go beyond yourself? Would you like to feel no edges? This is truly not caring what anybody thinks, doing what you want, right? And truly being free. So this is an opportunity. Saturn-Pluto conjunction in your 12th house. Look, I'm sorry, but your structures, they have like no hope of survival with this, like, when I say your structures, I mean your patterns. I don't necessarily mean your marriages or anything like that, but it's like your patterns. Oops, hold on. Not ready. That's way too many. Chaos and conflict. Okay, I love this card because it's like a zebra who is like losing their stripes and discovering that they're a giraffe underneath. And it's like the question of like, who am I really? Who am I really? What am I really doing here? What is my real purpose? How is this, do I need to be something for somebody else? Do I need to like continue doing this or doing that, right? It's all this big question, and this is the epitome of chaos and conflict right here. Chaos and conflict within yourself, okay? When someone lets go of this, oh my gosh, you guys, it's raining. I've been waiting for rain for like weeks here in Vegas, and it just barely started. I am so happy. So here we go. My favorite kind of weather. But yeah, when you let go of this, you feel at peace. And when you feel at peace, then everything you ever could possibly want is then free to come in. Okay, so lots to clarify. So the cards that I'm going to be pulling now are going to be what we cover in the comprehensive reading, which will be in the description box down below, okay, or the link to it will be in the description box. So let's go ahead and start clarifying the star card here. Gotta let go, you guys. Better now than later in January, right? This is the same. Okay, we'll take them. We will take them. All right, the Hierophant. Oh my gosh, this weather, I can't even. How long have you been ignoring your instincts? That's the question. How long have you been ignoring the thing that you know you have to do? How long have you been hoping that it would just sort itself out? My guess is a while. Hoping that you'd get bored with it, hoping that the other person would get bored with it, hoping that it would. No, the universe is asking. You have to pull the trigger. That's just what I was going to say. And then we get the Magician card. Like the universe is asking you to do something. And we always go through these cycles, right? We always go through cycles of do something and then relax, and then do something and then relax. It's the way that life breathes. And now you are in an inhale phase, right? You have to do something. You're headed toward such amazing things. Here, I found reversed. Something to do with roles. Something to do with your creativity. I'm seeing a real stubborn streak coming from you guys. Real stubborn. thing about these comprehensive is that sometimes they do take an interesting turn. I feel like this is no exception. Another star card. So we officially got the star card 3 different times. So that's clearly the most important message for you with this reading. The Devil and the Death card and the Strength card. You are being asked to do something really hard. And I think you know it. And I think you know it's time. Another Ace of Wands. Okay. Ooh, and the Tower at the bottom. Okay, you guys. So here's the comprehensive cards. Again, that link will be in the description box down below. Thank you guys so much. If I don't see you on the website, then I will definitely see you next month. Thank you guys so much. Have an excellent Leo season. Take care.